had the funniest moment. Recently I was overseas at my sister's wedding and someone asked me what I do. And I was trying to figure out how to explain it in normal language in a way that made sense and also wasn't going to be triggering at a beautiful event. The short answer that I always give is that I work with people who've experienced trauma to gather their stories and gather frontline insights and then help guide workplaces to how they can improve on their responses to those situations. Sometimes I joke that I'm a recovering academic, that I'm a recovering filmmaker, or I'm someone who's had the privilege of being a man in the gender-based violence space, so I get a lot of attention and press because there's very few of us. I remember walking into rooms and getting congratulated for being a man while I was doing my Churchill fellowship, as if that was a credential for being in the space. And then I realized that there was one other guy in a room of 60 or no other men in a room of 100. That's changing, and I love seeing some of the voices that are calling other men out, that are calling other men in, that are men talking about our role in this and that we can play such a vital role in prevention, and that we need to, because it is men's use of violence that dominates the violence statistics. But when it comes to explaining what I do, sometimes I like to think of it as a really boring solution to a really emotional and powerful topic. At its core, Capyble is an analysis engine and an evidence ledger for actions that you've done. And that's all fancy talk for saying we built something that measures what you've done and recommends what you need to do next. And then on the other side of the business, we build solutions with survivors to engage people so that they get the knowledge they need to make those actions. We basically analyze where you're at, map what you need to do next, and then if you can't do it yourself, we build solutions for you. We started with the building spot. We started with building e-learning for amazing organizations like Workplace Respect and the Queensland Government, and seeing how committed public servants are to longitudinal, long-form change, and then seeing that in action when I was cardiac event and the nurse that came to see me was wearing a lanyard that our designer Tash had put together. It was a kind of hand-drawn illustration of a queer young man saying that you are safe to speak to me and that I've been trained and I can help you if you're experiencing violence. And it was really eye-opening to see that work could have that effect, where it would go all the way down from analysis of what kind of people were in a workplace, to designing posters for people to share when they'd done our training, to showing what the different types of people needed in different areas in a kind of spreadsheet to what was a nice fancy dashboard, and pointing to what would improve the outcomes for people that intersected with those people in that workplace. So I think now I feel more confident in going up to people and saying Capyble is a really small company that works with living experience and frontline experts to guide workplaces and what they need to do when it comes to preventing gender-based violence, bullying, harassment, and anything that intersects with domestic and family violence. We are your analysis bot, we are your evidence ledger, we are your guide to different training organizations, and we are the people who can build training in a bespoke way for you with experts, incredible frontline people who are seeing this and working on this every day.